Hi, it's BellaDeVeraOfficial.wordpress.com, and I wanted to make a foundation video about the word fake. Now, people use that word in different ways, like two-faced, which is mutable signs in astrology. If you have mutable signs in your astrology birth chart, and if you don't know what I'm talking about by an astrology birth chart, ask me or look it up on the internet. But anyway, mutable signs mean the mutable is the modality. So mutable is the modality is all about energy, and there's three in for the zodiac signs because there's four in each modality. Because there's obviously 12 zodiac signs. So mutable means changeable. Changes energy. It's all about energy. The modalities are. So that's one way you can use fake because it's changeable. Like it's Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, because they seem two-faced, because they're not always one way. Like the fixed signs, they always stay like the same way, but mutable signs are back and forth with how they communicate or feel or interact with people. That's one way. Another way is when you say you're not showing your real self to someone, which is part of what my foundation is for. And I use the word fake on my Twitter to talk about power. So I said that was fake because I don't like using the word fake because it just gives excuses to people and how to relate to people, because there's so many times when people use the word fake and it's not proper. But what I meant is power is insecurities. If you think you have power over someone, there's something insecure about you. And that's not fake, but I used the word just because I did. But I don't like the word fake because whenever someone has insecurities, that's not fake. Whenever someone has a personality disorder, that's not fake. It's because of being hurt in your childhood and growing up, and it making you somehow have that personality disorder. And there are several personality disorders like borderline and narcissism, and so many people throw those words out there in a negative way, like the person is not worthy of love. And there's schizophrenia and all that stuff, and depression and anxiety, and whatever, all sorts of things, mental health kind of words to use to describe something that is going on with someone. So I don't like the word fake because so many people have such things and they're not fake. They're hurt. And without that, you wouldn't be hurt. So in my foundation, I talk about your true self, which is your confident, not hurt self that interacts with people in a normal human being kind of way that is loving. That's your true self, which people screw over and say is not your true self. People say your true self is your fake self, and it's not. There's no such thing as being fake, really. You're either hurt or you're not, or you're a mutable sign or you're not. But basically, that's it. Like, insecurities are not fake, they're real. But they're your hurt self. They're not your real true self. Your true self is when you're not being hurt, when you can interact with people lovingly. Whenever you're putting on a face for people and interacting with people, but then you're something else happens about you that people can see behind closed doors. That's your hurt self behind the closed doors. That's not your true self. Your true self is out in public when you can interact with people, which is also your ascendant sign. in public, I mean, is, but that's not all there is to a person, though. But that's not your true self more than your sun sign or your moon sign, because your moon sign is when you're at home behind closed doors, generally, which is your emotions. Moon is your emotions. Sun is your ego. Ascendant is your public persona. That's not about being fake either, or your true self. All that is your true self. But the true and hurt self is what I'm talking about the word fake. There's no such thing as being fake, unless it's just you saying mutable signs, being changeable is fake or something. But other than that, people need to stop using the word fake, and I should to get my point across for the way I want to live my life and for my foundation. Because, and I hope I'm not making this too jumbled that you don't get what I'm saying, but I'm certain you can. It's very basic. In my other videos, I explain about your true self and hurt self more, but I do not say this as just my belief. I say this as the truth. Your hurt self is not your true self. Your true self is when you can interact with people in a loving way. And if you have to fake it till you make it, that's your true self too, out in public or wherever. That's your true self. That's not your fake self. There's no such thing as fake. Whenever you're not doing that and the whole public thing and being confident and loving and whatever, if you're being your hurt self, that's what the fake thing is. But that's not fake. It's real. And people need to quit acting like, like this, everyone can't have some kind of a personality disorder, because I don't know who all does or doesn't, but it's because of the root thing is because of hurt, being hurt from childhood, growing up, not as just an adult. It doesn't happen that. It happens as a child growing up. Whenever you put on that loving face in public because you don't want people to see your insecurities, that's your true self. The mask you think you're wearing, that's not fake. It's real. That's your loving true self. That's what you need to say is your true self. The thing that actually is fake, which is not fake at all, is your insecurities. Because that's not your true self, which is what people call your true self. People say your insecurities is your true self, but it's not. Your insecurities are because you've been hurt and felt neglected, and you don't know what to do with all of your stuff and your emotions and whatever, because so many people don't know about astrology in the 8th house and Pluto, which is transformation and growth and inner demons, and they don't know how to deal with what has happened to them growing up, like abuse and neglect and whatever else, that has made us have these fears and insecurities that people say is their true self. That's not your true self. Whenever that comes out, that is not your true self. That's your insecurities. That's your hurt self. The thing that people call, like I keep repeating, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's for a point. I'm sick of people saying the word fake and calling someone else fake because they have insecurities and then they come out somehow and people see them. That is not your true self. Your true self is that mask you think is your fake self that is loving to people, that is for the public, which can be in your home too, and your behind closed doors can have that too then. And I'm sick of people saying you must not have a personality disorder because whatever reasons, but I do, because so many people don't know that they have that, and then they just say they're being fake, which they're not. Having an insecurity and fear is not fake, and having a personality disorder, even though it makes us, me, and everyone not nice sometimes, our choices is not. This is a complicated subject because it's not just choices. psychological thing is going on that I don't think is people's fault, but we need to learn how to deal with it though. So no one is fake. No, and whenever you think that I'm manipulated because I'm in a wheelchair and I couldn't possibly have a personality disorder, and you calling yourself fake because you know there's something going on with you that makes you think you're not being nice to people. That's not nice to tell me that I might not have such a personality disorder. It's not nice to tell me I'm naive because I'm in a wheelchair, or not that people really talk to me like that all the time, but it just adds an example of how you can talk to people, or if you see someone else with something other, whatever, that makes you think that they're whatever. Just because you might have NPD, narcissism, personality disorder, or whatever, doesn't mean that you're fake and that when you're around people, you're just, whatever, like using them. We're all supposed to be around each other, but letting people in your life that is a good influence on you is what life is about too. Not just letting people that you deem the same as you because you think they must have some personality disorder and the next person doesn't. That doesn't make you two friends more than the next person can be. Personality disorders can help you understand each other. And then the next person doesn't, but you all, two of you or all three of you, like the other person, and then one of you out of the two, you know, has a personality disorder and the other one doesn't, or if all three of you do, like that can make you understand each other, but like that's why there's the 11th house and we're all equal, no classes and Aquarius. That's Aquarius. That's why all 12 zodiac signs exist, not 11. Because we all need each other. And whenever you put each other in groups and classes and whatever else, you take away the ability to get each other and understand each other. And it's not even the ability that you take away, it's just the idea that you can't interact with each other somehow. And so people need to quit using labels and just all those kinds of things, because and quit saying the next person can't have some personality disorder, so they can't possibly be like you, because I guarantee you they can. Something about them, it can be exactly like the next person that thinks that they have something mean about them, which is what people call fake. But what it is maybe a personality disorder, which isn't really the person's fault because they haven't been treated properly by their parents, or whoever took care of them, or whatever, growing up as a child. So the word fake is not legitimate. It's not ever allowed or acceptable to tell someone else that they're not like you because you're fake and mean and they're not. Because, like I just said, it's probably you might. There's a good chance you might have some type of personality disorder, which is, like I said, it's not your fault. So don't tell that person that they can't and that they couldn't treat you the way you treat them, because they very well could. So in that way, you're both equal. And it's not nice to tell that person that they haven't been hurt. Like, don't like call yourself fake and then like say don't be around me because I'm fake, because that's just stuck up and like murder crap, and it's so ridiculous. It's worthless to say that, because we're all supposed to be around each other, but we need each other, different types of people in our lives. to interact with, so we are a good influence on each other. So don't call yourself fake and then, like, not understand the root of what's actually going on with you, because then what you're actually doing is calling the next person fake, which isn't nice either. Even though whenever you say the other person is not fake and you are, I get that that's not you being unkind to them, but calling yourself fake is unkind. So then if that person does have a personality disorder, you have to be calling them fake, because there's no difference. You get what I'm saying? It's not okay to say that that person is not being fake and that you are. And then when they might have a personality disorder, like, you don't get to take that away from them. It's not acceptable. It's rude, actually, really. It's too much martyr crap, and it's not acceptable to build walls between people because you don't realize, you don't understand the root of your problems. So quit using the word fake, because it's not legitimate. And my foundation really is kind of like a boot camp foundation in a way, like one part of it. There's several parts of it, really, but that are actually kind of completely different. But my foundation is for everyone, because of the fact that the root of things is what I'm talking about. That's what my foundation is about. Like, if you're a bully, there's a good chance you have some personality disorder, and it's not your fault. It's from childhood, and it wasn't your fault that you were neglected or abused somehow, and it, turned into that. So, if you're bullying someone, uh, there's a good chance that they could give it back to you, because there's a good chance that they might have a personality disorder also. So I wouldn't mess with people, like, it's really ridiculous to say someone doesn't have, some fake thing that you have, because you're not understanding what you're calling fake about yourself, probably. It could very well likely be a personality disorder, and that's not fake, it's hurt. And like, I keep saying it's not your fault, but like, get rid of the labels fake and whatever, because whenever you think you're being fake to someone that isn't possibly able to be fake to you, you might very well find out that they can be. But like what I actually said, the fake is not the nasty word you're calling yourself fake that no one else can be, but the actual root of what it actually is. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have any right to tell someone else that they couldn't possibly do that back to you, because they very well could. Probably can. If you're picking on someone that you think is insecure, they very well might have a personality disorder. So you might get your crap back. So I wouldn't mess with people, because it's not kind to tell someone that they don't have hurt feelings and don't have things to deal with. We're all equal, even if people want to pretend like we're not, we are. So really, like, get over it, and have respect for people, because it's not okay to separate ourselves and build walls and have excuses and have, all sorts of things why we can't relate to each other, because we're all human beings. We're all on the same earth. You know, we all need to relate to each other. That's why we're all here, because we couldn't do this without each other. And for the record, like I've said on my social media, I've not been diagnosed with anything by a psychologist or any professional like that, because as a child growing up and then into an adult, I was always freaked out about the whole subject because it just scared the crap out of me. So I've never had therapy, but especially with my Scorpio South node, which in short, it's an abusive childhood. Um, I if I went to a psychologist and was honest with them, and you can have an abusive childhood no matter what South Node you have, but especially with a Scorpio South Node, there is abuse somehow or another done to you, and or something, some psychological problems because of something that wasn't easy in your childhood, whether you had actual physical abuse or mental or whatever, something or another made your life growing up with a Scorpio South Node mentally traumatic. So anyway, whether you have that South Node or not, you can have abuse happen to you as a child. But just for the record, if I went to a psychologist now and was completely honest with them, I'm sure I'd be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And it's in my family, and narcissism is too in my family. I don't know that I'd be diagnosed with anything else necessarily other than anxiety. And especially when I was growing up, depression, which is likely with BPD, which is not bipolar, because I don't know the actual definition or abbreviation for bipolar, or if it has some disorder word attached to it. But there could be that in my family too. But I don't have bipolar, but I have borderline personality disorder, and I'm 1000% sure I do. And it's not nice. It's nasty, and it can give people problems when they're interacting with people that people don't want to be around. And I've seen plenty of nasty things about it. Just a moment here. Okay, so sorry. I've seen plenty of nasty things about narcissism and borderline and all of that stuff. And it's not okay to do that to people. And I'm not really saying, I'm not trying to attack anyone that has done that. But you need to get to the root of people's problems and understand what's actually going on with them and learn how to be around people, because it's not my fault that I have that, or that, people see those symptoms in me, whether they know I have it or not. And I've learned how to not have the worst reactions with it, like in public and such, that I do in my mind, 1000%, because I know that in public you need that professional or proper or whatever, but that's not fake, like I said. So, and that's why I don't like labels, because it's not helping anything to label me anything like that, or anyone else anything that they have. You know, I can be really ridiculous and outrageous with my problems. I could be. If I actually let it get out of hand and like let my feelings be a part of it and stuff, I could let it get out of hand so much that you'd really see that in me. So anyway, like I was saying, labels aren't okay. I just wanted to let you know that about me just because. But anyway, that's the end of this video basically. The word fake is not acceptable, so don't call people fake. So if you want to comment on this video, feel free, and I'll be making more soon.